If you drink a lot of wine at night and then you wake up the next morning and you cannot remember where the wine is from, it may not be because you imbibed too much, although maybe you did that too, but it may be because this next wine has a little bit of an identity crisis. Lettie Teague is lining up. This is much better than the water in my WSJ Live
But
cup.
I have nothing to drink it from, so I can put it in your coffee mug.
I keep telling them to put the wine in the WSJ Live cup. It has not happened. All right,
Just the rum.
This
Okay.
wine with an identity crisis, but great taste and great price. What is it, and where is it? Where's it from?
Well, two very important questions. You know, the identity crisis stems from the fact that it's from a part of France called the Roussillon, which is right on the border of Spain, and it's a very small region, and it's actually, you know, technically part of the Languedoc-Roussillon. And Languedoc, which more people have heard of certainly than Roussillon, because it's a much larger area. But one of the main problems with Roussillon is it's actually Catalan rather than French, or although it's owned by the French and it's gone back and forth from Spain and France for hundreds of years.
When you say Catalan, that obviously relates back to Spain, right?
Exactly.
Obviously.
You know,
just for people who
originally who don't have maps in front of them.
Yes.
And so that's you know, their identity, larger identity in the world is somewhat obscure, and thus the wines themselves. And then the greater challenge from the wines is that a lot of their I think it's almost half the production have been fortified wines, so dessert wines. So, you know, not something there's a huge market for. And these wines, in fact, are all dry. That's a good idea. Dry table wines, and that's why I focused on them in my article, because I thought this is the chance for these wines to become better known, because that's what people, you know, by and large drink.
So backing up one step, so if we wanted to go look for this wine, we would say we're looking for a good Roussillon. That's,
Right,
that's what you would say, like a Burgundy. You would say.
Actually, yeah.
Good luck finding it.
But hopefully,
especially after you write this story, right?
Exactly. Right. You know.
But the pricing is very good. Give us a feel for that.
And that was actually one of my major attractions to it. The pricing and the flavor profile of the wines. The pricing is between $15 and $25.
Wow.
So very attractively priced. The wines themselves, in a range you can see, both white and red. An importer described the reds to me as a cross between Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Priorat, which are two really dynamite areas. One in Spain, of course, one in France. But we're talking the same grapes like Grenache and Carignan and Mourvèdre, and so like big, bold flavors, really juicy, ripe. Some of them actually quite big and tannic, especially those with Syrah and Carignan. And the whites with the Macabeo grape, which is actually a Spanish, and hence again the identity, you know, crisis of it, where it's, you know, seems more Spanish, but it's actually French grape. And then something like the Billachotte, which is Grenache Blanc, Grenache Gris. So there's a lot of varietals planted in the Roussillon, so that adds to its, you know, confusion as well.
And so if someone walks into a wine store, and let's assume they're looking for this,
Right.
and they ask for Roussillon, and someone says, "Oh no, that's a dessert wine," they can say, "That is not true.
That's
Lettie
right.
Teague
And
told me
slap
that is
them,
not true." But these, if you're going to buy this, what are the best types of food to pair it with?
You know, well, when you've got something like a very light, dry white like the Macabeo, actually it's a great aperitif. But then when you go all the way down to something like the Domaine de Soulain, which is Carignan and Grenache, big, bold flavor. So I mean, you're talking about something that would go with a fairly big, reasonably tannic red. So we're talking, you know, the obvious stuff like you know, meat and you know, from the chicken to the steak sort of, you know, range. And the same is true of the other reds. But the white, you know, something like this is the Grenache Blanc, is fairly full-bodied and great acidity, so great wine and fish. So that's the beauty of the Roussillon. You have these great wines with tremendous versatility across the board and great prices, but just the obscurity of, you know, the wines are relatively hard to find still, which I hope will soon not be true.
If you brought this wine to someone's home who is a big lover of French wine, right? Let's say Burgundy is their thing. Are they going to like poo-poo it a little bit?
Well, these wines are not so Burgundian. If they love the wines
not
of
so
the Southern
Burgundian,
Red,
is that what you said?
Not so Burgundian, but also not so Burgundian price-wise, which is a beautiful
which
thing.
is good.
But stylistically, if they were wine lovers or lovers of wines of the Rhone, they'd be very happy, and certainly at these prices. And we're talking old vines. I mean, there's so much potential yet to be realized in that region, and so I think they're just some dynamite values.
I love this. I love that you found a good dynamite value in France that people haven't heard of.
Oxymoron, yeah.
Excellent for you. All right, Lettie Teague, thanks so much. And you sit next to me, which I love, because we'll be down there in a moment. All right, thanks so much for being with us.